Uh, okay, hopefully we are good to go. All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Hani, and I'm the Education USA advisor in the Fulbright Commission here in Prague. And my special guest today is Adriana from University of the Pacific, and specifically the McGeorge School of Law. Thank you, Adriana, for joining today.
Thank you so much, Hani, for the invitation and the opportunity to share important information with our students that I do believe these are important tools for their careers, for their professional lives. So I'm excited to be
Mhm.
here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, together we will dive into the topic of LinkedIn account and how to network. So I am excited myself because I am actually the person who has a LinkedIn account, but I don't really use it. So I'm excited to find out all the opportunities, how to network, which is such an important part of the society and so forth. So, Adriana, the floor is yours. And you guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to send it underneath or type it underneath the live stream, and we are happy to answer it.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. Here's the thing, social media, you're either in it or you're not at all in the world. The question is
Mhm,
how to use the social medias channels, and specifically
mhm,
LinkedIn, which is a professional channel, a professional platform, I would say,
mhm,
especially here in the
mhm,
United States. I guess in the world, but it does have that approach, that professional approach
mhm,
for institutions, for career and professionals. So the question is
mhm,
how to use LinkedIn to maximize your exposure to other professionals, to
mhm,
network, to make connections, and to establish, the links between you and what is it that you want to be doing in the future and how this can
mhm,
assist you. Now,
mhm.
a lot of people do have an account. Sometimes the account
Mhm.
are not active. Then it needs a little bit of attention. So it's kind of needs
Mhm,
the maintenance to keep up with what's going on,
mhm,
new articles you can repost. But most important is to have your profile, your
mhm,
identity. It's your
mhm,
um, it's your time to rise and shine. I tell our students, do not be shy. This is the time where you want to rise and shine and tell people,
mhm,
tell the world who you are, right?
mhm,
So it's important to have a profile picture. You can see on the screen. We have here
mhm,
John as an example, has a beautiful, nice professional picture. I know some students sometimes get excited and they post some pictures on the gym or doing some sports, which is super nice. It's also part of who you are, your identity. But when it
mhm,
comes to your profile, you want to make sure it looks professional. So a professional
mhm,
photo would be most appropriate. And then,
mhm,
what is the headline? What is it that you want to tell the world about who you are? Are you a law
mhm,
student? Are you a
mhm,
student, graduate student? You know? Are you doing
mhm,
an internship? What is the title? What is the headline that you want to put out there to call the attention? Remember, keywords are important because
mhm,
people, employees are looking for those specific professionals. So, for
mhm,
example, here on John, he says he's a leading expert in international legal education. I see the word
mhm,
international, it's a big buzzword, right? Because it's
mhm,
like
mhm,
think about doing international business or whatever it is that your area is. It's important to make sure that you put the buzzwords in the title.
mhm,
Now, a simple summary, one or two lines telling who you are. It's about the key areas
mhm,
of interest. So if you think about strategically, it's all about the strategy.
mhm,
Why do I have a profile and what's my goal behind it?
mhm,
Right? It's to
mhm,
show you to the world and to also say to advertise who you are and what are
mhm,
you looking for. So
mhm,
make sure that you list the areas that you're interested in. You can be very
mhm,
specific. So, for example, for law students, just an example, you can be more specific and talk about international law. or intellectual property or business. Or if you're looking for whatever area, you make sure that you use those words because they are very important as your summary. And this is what is about you. So it's important to be careful, tailor that description about who you are. Now, experience. Some students do get a little shy because they feel like they do not have enough experience. And please do not judge yourself. Your job right now is to list the things that you have done, the experiences that you have gone through, because they are important. Every step counts. It's the ability to show the world that you have tried different types of jobs or has had different types of experience. That helps to identify who you are and the kind of background that you have. So um, you can use bullet points just to summarize and highlight. So let's say, for example, that during your experience, you were able to publish an article that was published in a magazine or in a journal or somewhere that is of value to you. Or perhaps you were a guest speaker, or you assist a professor publishing a book or whatever that might be. Please do not judge the work, but only list what is that you have done because it is important and it adds up at the end of the day. So these are just the number one. Make your profile stand out with those headlights. The next one here. Number two, connect with people and interact. Okay, there is a strategy to do so because, again, you are now reaching out to someone that you don't know, perhaps. Most of the time, no, it's a virtual connection. And you want to ask for their advice. Remember, time is money, right? People are busy. So we have to be clear in our intent as to what exactly of kind of connection we wanted to make. You are going to be very specific as to what kind of professionals you want to connect with. So remember, it's all about you and your interests. This webinar is very good because it's planting the seed. It's a self-reflection for you to start thinking about who you are, what you want, and then how to get where you want to be. So there are steps, and LinkedIn is one of those. And you have to make sure that you want to personalize. It's all about customization. Personalize a note when you set a connection request. So for example, if when you look on LinkedIn, professionals on a certain area, and a number of professionals from your home country, on your home city, they will pop up. You can do a search. When you do that, when you are ready to connect with the person, you have to make sure that you know who that person is and you know specific about what kind of job or what kind of company that that person works. So you can say, "Hi, my name is so and so. I am a student focusing on this area. I see on LinkedIn that you are working on a very interesting area that I am looking forward to starting a career. Would you please accept my request?" Simple, but you have to be specific about your request. That makes the difference. And you have to post some engaging materials to make sure that you are being seen. Sometimes you don't have anything published and you don't have anything that you have been able to create yet. However, you can share. You can share content from other people that content that is in relationship with what it is that you're looking for and what it is that is of your interest. Again, it's always giving hints as to um, exactly what it is that you're looking for. So always have that objective in mind. There are several groups that you can join. It's for free. Most of the time, I've never seen anybody being denied to be joining some of those groups here. So I'll just give you an example for those who are looking for law. We have here in the United States, the ABA, which is the American Bar Association. They have several groups, for example, the law student, the LLM students, the new lawyers outreach. So that are for other areas of not only law, but for other areas of businesses. It kind of depends on what it is that you're interested in. But
Mhm.
use the search engine on LinkedIn to look for the specific area that you're interested in. And it will
Mhm.
pop up several organizations that you can become affiliated with, follow them,
Mhm.
and you can repost also their articles because it is a way for you to be active on LinkedIn even though you don't have your own article, that's okay because you're starting.
Mhm.
Uh, but you are promoting um, information to others that are the part of your network. So there is a good
Mhm.
benefit to those who follow you as well.
Mhm.
And remember, your school is a great place to start. There's always, if you don't know yet, this is a good chance for you to ask. Most of schools do have some groups where you can
Mhm.
join them just to, again, to have a safe start and to start your connection, feeling comfortable with those groups within your school, your university, for example. Most
Mhm.
of them do have articles, do have groups that invite other students to join and become a community of professionals or professionals to be that are going into the market very, very soon.
Mhm.
So again, these are some ideas for you to start networking today. And that's why it's important to maximize this tool, this professional tool that LinkedIn
Mhm.
has served the
Yes.
entire world.
Mhm. Mhm.
What else can you do? Okay, so let me go back one here and I'm gonna change. Okay, now you see the elevator and I'm sure you all are familiar with the elevator pitch. But if you're not,
Mhm.
that's okay. And I'll tell you, it's that 1, 2, 3 seconds that you have, that's your time to rise and shine. And you are in an elevator, you don't have much time, and you need to sell yourself. You have to
Mhm.
sell who you are. And you have to be brief, you have to be um, accurate, and you have
Mhm.
to have it rehearsed. You have to know exactly what kind of information you want to present. Because
Mhm.
guess what? We say the elevator pitch, but it could be anywhere. It could be, I don't know, if you are doing your groceries and you happen to meet someone and you have a quick conversation, or if you are in the bus stop, wherever it is, there's always an opportunity to meet people. But in this case,
Mhm.
it's the elevator pitch. So what is it? It's a brief professional
Mhm.
introduction
Mhm.
designed to make an impression. Okay, this is an
Mhm.
important word. You want to impress someone that you're meeting.
Mhm.
Um, and then you need to think about it takes only 30 seconds or less. You have the opportunity to sell or to have ready few sentences about who you are,
Mhm.
what what you're doing and what you want. So that has to resonate with you. We're gonna practice. I'm gonna show you some tips how to prepare that because the
Mhm.
more you say, the more comfortable you feel about having those icebreak conversations, and you never know who you are about to meet.
Mhm.
Sometimes you are
Mhm.
in an elevator, sometimes you are on a plane. It really is, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you start a conversation, you never know who that person may know or may work in a company that perhaps you are interested in that area of business, or it
Mhm.
is something that it's your for career. So
Mhm.
it is important to have it ready, and we're going to find out now how to do it.
I think
Okay.
this is super important, Adriana, and I feel that many students rely on the online contact that really they
Mm.
sit behind the LinkedIn account or other accounts or jobs.cz and they just send out resumes. But being able to sell yourself verbally with someone else present, that's another level, like that's different.
It is different, but you know what? I feel like practice, practice, practice. And I'm going to say it better. Good practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Because, we are looking for perfection, but that's not the point. The point is to be good enough, and it has to be real. It
Mhm.
has to come from the
Mhm.
heart. Because
Mhm.
people want to connect with people that are passionate about what they do, right?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you want to be A, B, C, or D, it doesn't matter your profession. It's about who you are your identity
Mhm.
and being genuine. People can
Mhm.
feel it. You know,
Mhm.
it's not a salesperson, right? Even though
Mhm.
you are doing a sales pitch because you're selling your abilities, your
Uh-huh.
gifts, your talents. At the end of the day, it's a human to human connection. And people can
Mhm.
tell,
Mhm.
we can feel when
Mhm.
it's genuine and come from the heart. So I think it's
Mhm.
important to also note that.
Yeah.
But why is it effective? Why does it work? So what is it that
Mhm.
you do in order to have it, 100% elevator pitch ready for when the time comes? So,
Mhm.
as we say, it's a quick communication. It has to be fast-paced, it's efficient,
Mhm.
it's how society works nowadays, right? If you
Mhm.
look at the social medias, all the stories, everything is very, very quick. Things are moving very, very fast. But
Mhm.
once you have clarity of what it is that you want, where you are, what you want to become. And it's
Mhm.
easy to have that clarity, to have that conversation. It will become natural. It will flow
Mhm.
beautifully. I promise you. It's just the
Mhm.
first times, it takes a little bit of time to feel comfortable. So
Mhm.
I ask you, please take time to create it. And that's
Mhm.
the inner self-reflection time that you're going to say, I'm a student. I aspire to be this or that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
what is it that I need to do in order to get where I want to be? So you need to have
Mhm.
clarity. So take time to reflect. It's a good exercise. If any
Mhm.
timing point in your professional career and your personal life as well. Sometimes we have those, moments we start asking philosophical questions. Who am
Yeah.
I? What do you wanna, where do you wanna go? What do you wanna be?
Mhm.
These are
Mhm.
important, and especially when it comes to a career. And if there is
Mhm.
you don't know exactly what it is, look
Mhm.
at what you're passionate about.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Mhm.
we don't have a name for I want to be this profession, but I
Mhm.
want to work with international law, or I want to work
Mhm.
with business, I want to work with animals, I want to work with biochemistry. You can be
Mhm.
general if you're not there yet, but I invite you
Mhm.
to start thinking about take the time to create it and take the time to rehearse it. Practice,
Mhm.
practice, practice. And you can practice with your friends and family. You
Mhm.
can read or record yourself. Again, it's 30 seconds. It's very fast. It's basically telling a very short story in a very short period of time. But it's impact
Mhm.
because this is
Mhm.
how you are share your identity, who you are.
Mhm.
And you can always, always adapt as needed. It depends on
Mhm.
what you are, right?
Mhm.
So here I listed some examples of where for sure you're going to have the opportunity to use your elevator pitch. So, and
Mhm.
all networking events. It could be for your school, it could be for your work, maybe it's a new client, maybe it's a new business, maybe
Mhm.
you're visiting someone new. You can absolutely use it to really deliver a nice, polished introduction about yourself. Job
Mhm.
fairs, for sure. Again, job fairs, you don't have much time. If you have a resume handy, that's great. But
Mhm.
it's that person-to-person contact that will make the difference. So you need to
Mhm.
be aware that you only have those few seconds to say, this is what I'm interested in, and
Mhm. Mhm.
introduce yourself. Class, seminars, conferences, wherever you go,
Mhm.
there's always an opportunity to have a conversation and share. As I said, I was just on the plane. I came from California. I'm here in Prague for my very first time. So I'm
Uh,
excited to be here. Um, and I was on a plane, I was having conversation. It always started because I was holding a pen from the university that I work, and I started
mhm.
a conversation with a gentleman because he needed a pen. And we start talking about education, we start about
Mhm.
Prague and California and the world. And this is right there. It was one simple conversation that I was having that it may end up in a business because we did
Mhm.
exchange business cards. So
Mhm. Mhm.
speaking of business cards, since I touched on the topic, I know nowadays it's all the QR codes. It's very modern, and I also use mine. See, honey knows.
Yeah.
Yes, and whatever you decide to use, whether it's the old school paper,
Hmm.
we are
Hmm.
going to a new era, paperless. I get it. Be prepared. As long as you have your
Hmm.
information that's easy to be shareable, then that's it. That's all you need.
Hmm.
Because again, sometimes it's in line in a bank or somewhere, and you don't have much time to be typing. So having the QR code or having your business card ready to go is secret.
That's awesome. I'm gonna second the information that you mentioned. You don't have to be sure what job are you searching for. That was exactly my case. When I finished university, I wasn't sure what I am going to do. Like I was just open to everything and anything. I knew I'm not gonna be a doctor. I knew I'm not gonna be a scientist. But because of the open conversation, I spoke with various people and we talked about various topics about my like summer job experience, about my looking after kids experience. And then they always mention something, and you never know who is holding your ticket to your next job position. So smile at people, be polite, be kind, and it will pay off. I am telling you, it will pay off. I got this job by super accident because I was talking to my university supervisor and she mentioned there is an opening in Prague. I was from Olomouc. I would never check out Prague openings for jobs. And that's how I got my dream job here. So, guys, just don't be afraid to talk to other people. You mentioned networking events. You guys, on June 25th, we have a networking event in Prague. It's open for everyone. It's usually, or it will be focused on those of you who are planning to go to study in the United States. You will meet other people, other students who are studying in the US, who will be studying in the US from the fall. You will also meet people from foundations. So come, have conversations, meet other students with similar interests, talk to me. I am super excited to meet with you. Just don't feel like you have to have it all figured out. It's just not how, it's just not necessary. And it will turn out well, I am sure. Yeah.
I like what you're saying, honey, because I would say two things. Be
Uh-huh.
humble. Be humble.
Yeah.
Again, no one is looking for, if you are already a professional, you're at the top of your career, then you wouldn't be here today, right? We are all figuring it out. Even honey
Hmm.
and myself,
Hmm.
we are employed,
Hmm.
right? But we're always improving. So there is not, I
Hmm.
am there. You're always work in progress. We are work in
Yeah.
progress. So
Yeah.
humble. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Well, remember, this is an opportunity for you to interview the other person as well. Because when you come from a place of humility, in other words, you're
Hmm.
open to learn, right?
Hmm.
Because if your
Hmm.
cup is too full, there's nothing else we can pour in. So there's no
Hmm.
knowledge you can learn. But if you
Hmm.
come with an open heart and just open for opportunities, you never know. Like Honey's example is
Hmm.
perfect. You just
Hmm.
don't know where life will take you. But if you're
Hmm.
open to explore, then you
Hmm.
open yourself up for infinite
Yeah.
possibilities, but
Yeah.
comes from a place of humility in a sense of, I don't know or I don't have the experience, but I'm open to learn. Do you have a suggestion for me?
Exactly. It might also need a little bit of stepping out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
which is good for you guys. Don't worry. It's really good for you.
Yes, and it's all about how can we better ourselves if we're not trying?
Mhm.
Because like public speaking, those are uncomfortable for everybody, even for
Yeah.
those who master it. I mean, you still have that butterfly in your stomach. Sometimes you get sweaty a little bit. It's all part of the the human emotions. We're all
Hmm.
humans. Once
Hmm.
when some people perform better than other, but I promise everybody, you have to go through the steps. So, um, practicing is great opportunity, right? The
Hmm.
more you do it, the more comfortable you feel like. It's an up,
Hmm.
what is the worst case scenario? Right.
Yeah.
You met a person, maybe you stumble a little bit in the beginning, but you carried on a conversation and everything is gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So take out the fear, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I also have to add that for you guys who are listening, you're probably from the Czech Republic or Slovakia.
Mhm.
And it is a big difference doing this in your native language, in Czech, you know. So you guys will have to prepare two of these speeches, kind of, because one is going to be in Czech in case you meet a Czech guy, and the other one is going to be in English. And I totally feel you. Like when I started speaking English publicly, I was sweating all over. So don't worry. You can practice with me. You can practice with Adriana for sure. You know, she's here now, but she will also share her contact info. And we are here for you. But yeah, I've made a fool of myself so many times when forgetting like vocabulary and so forth. So don't worry. It's like, yeah, it's the part of the process.
It is part of the process, and I'm gonna share you guys a secret.
Uh-huh.
I'm originally from Brazil, so I speak Portuguese. I'm still learning English, and I have to say something. Before I was so insecure about my accent because even
Mhm.
though I was speaking English, people weren't understanding me. I still have that subconscious, or I was very aware of my accent. It wasn't
Mhm.
until later that I realized that my accent is powerful. Why? Because it's an indication that I speak multiple languages. If
Mhm.
you have an
Mhm.
accent, it's equal. It's the same as saying, I speak multiple languages. Therefore, I'm valuable. Therefore, I know what it takes to be
Mhm.
proficient in a language. It's hard because languages are always evolving. So you never
Mhm.
learn a language 100%.
Mhm.
Including your
Mhm.
mother, tongue, it changes, right? So
Uh-huh.
the
Mhm.
native language is changing all the time with the new slangs and the newness of the world,
Mhm.
So always remember, be confident in who you are. You
Mhm.
are who you are. You can always work in progress. You have a goal and you're trying your best. And
Mhm.
you know, I like what you're saying, honey. I always have, a plan B in action
Yeah.
for other language that might be necessary. So we have time. There's time to practice.
Uh-huh.
There's time to
Yeah.
complete it. Very, very nice.
Mhm.
I like that. Okay. Remember I said you have time to, oops, sorry about that. You have time to practice. Here's your turn, your time to practice. You don't have it
Mhm.
to do now, but this is a homework, an exercise that you can
Mhm.
do with your friends. So
Mhm.
here are the prompts. About 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Tell who you are,
Mhm.
what you have done, and
Mhm.
what you hope to do.
Mhm.
As simple as that.
Mhm.
And if Honey is up to the challenge, I'm gonna put Honey on the spot. We did not talk about this, but I feel like Honey is prepared. I think Honey and I should try. Should we try Honey like on the spot?
We can,
Oh,
but this was unexpected, Adriana. You start and I'll try to follow.
okay. So it's 30 seconds. Guys, it's improvisation here, right? But because I've done this before, and I know Honey has done this before, we're gonna keep it very, very simple, right? And I will
Uh-huh.
do my 30 seconds or less if I have just met Honey at the elevator. So ding, ding,
Uh-huh.
I'm in the elevator, I say, hi, good afternoon, good morning. How are you doing today?
Hi, how are you?
Very nice meeting you. My name is Adriana. I'm originally from São Paulo, Brazil. I work for a university and a school of law called McGeorge. I'm passionate
Mhm.
for higher education. I've been traveling all over the world, meeting students and sharing important information with them. I do hope that someday I'm going to be able to speak to many other countries that are on my list,
Mhm.
including Prague is my first time, and I'm excited
Uh-huh.
to be here and connect with you.
Oh, that's awesome. Hello, my name is Hani, and I am living in Brno, but I work in Prague in the Education USA Advising Center, and it falls under the Fulbright Commission. And I have to say, it's a really job that was my dream come true because I'm helping Czech students with the application process to American universities and colleges, and it's all completely free of charge for them. So I love this network and I love seeing students achieving their dreams of studying abroad. So nice
Bravo.
meeting you. Yeah.
Bravo, honey. There you go. Right? I know you
Yeah.
can do it. We did it on the spot. You can, make it short, use the
Mhm.
words because there's time to practice. So it
Mhm.
always starts with the idea. What is the message? Because think
Mhm.
about it. If you look at the picture here, you see the professionals. They with our clothes and our body language, we also send a
Mhm.
message, don't we? It's the
Mhm.
same with the language. Sometimes it's the non-spoken, right, message that is in the air. That's the first impression, the way
Mhm.
you hold yourself, your
Mhm.
confidence. I'm not saying arrogance. It's confidence. I
Mhm.
study, I know, I am in the process of looking for a career or a job, whatever that is. I'm looking
Mhm.
for an opportunity, but I feel good about myself and I know I'm capable of
Mhm. Mhm.
with the right training, right? With the right guidance, I can do it. That kind of
Mhm. Mhm.
really look
Mhm.
strong, shaking hands and be strong in that shaking the hands, you know,
Mhm.
those little things that you
Yeah.
can practice again that will build up the confidence inside and it will definitely project.
Projected. Yeah. I second that. And I would like you guys to encourage you to really appreciate what you have done because we tend to be shy and we tend not to boast kind of because we feel that it's boasting,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's you're really just listing the things that you have done, that you have accomplished. So
Mhm.
be proud of yourself. This is not something that you have to hide. Yeah, don't worry about it. If you are not sure, whether it's on the edge of boasting, let's schedule a consultation and I'll teach you the proper American way how to sugarcoat things and how to present yourself. That's totally fine.
I love it. I love it because you're right. And every culture is also different. So for me,
Mhm,
if I
mhm,
were, introducing myself or meeting people in Brazil back home, it would be acceptable to give a hug or two kisses. That's
mhm,
a
mhm,
stranger. In the United States, for example, we really shake hands and we maintain a personal space. And
mhm,
it's
mhm,
okay. So it's about being aware of where you
mhm,
are, right? The
mhm,
kind of people that you're meeting. So if it's a more informal meeting, perhaps a hug would be welcomed. But I always kind of wait a little bit and I observe. So
mhm,
watch how
mhm,
people are
mhm,
moving around the living room or the classroom or the conference.
mhm,
Stand out a little bit just to kind of watch, feel good, and then you walk
mhm,
with confidence
mhm,
and kind of mimic what it is going on. And sometimes people are open to other kind of approach, but I would say that shaking a hand is a very professional and acceptable
mhm,
worldwide,
mhm.
I would say. Do you
Great.
guys hug here? Do you also?
Not in a professional way. I think that in the Czech Republic, you mostly shake hands and you leave a little bit of the personal space.
Yeah.
With friends, and you guys know it too. When you see a friend, you're just gonna do that silly dance, something. But you
Woo!
can kiss, but that's more informal. But formally, if I go to an interview, I would also shake hands and yeah, just be very polite and use formal language. Yeah.
That's true. And eye contact. It's very
Hmm.
nice to say
Hmm.
that the eyes are the mirror.
Windows to your soul.
Yeah, it is so true because you make
Uh-huh.
that human. That's what I'm saying. Guys, even
Hmm.
though we are all dressed nicely in our suit, we are professionals, but first of all, we are human. So the other
Mm-hmm.
person on the other side, I do hope, with much more experience and training,
Mm-hmm.
understand
Mm-hmm.
that you're nervous. It's just normal that you are, you know, have a little bit of butterflies in my stomach while you're doing an
Uh-huh.
interview. That's just so natural.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's the ability to go with the flow, be able to
Mm-hmm.
present yourself with the best, having the tools. Can you use the
Mm-hmm.
tools at the time needed? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
because we all have tools. Yeah, are we using them? LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we are what we are sharing today is no news. We're just reminding you how to use them and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some important information, right, honey?
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I applied for my job, I also researched some like typical questions for a job interview, like there is a list of questions based on a type of a position. And I
Mhm.
tried the mock interview. I tried to think about the answers a little bit so that I don't, just say something stupid. But
Exactly.
yeah,
In
I
fact, I'm
just
gonna
do a little bit of research. Yeah.
research is super important because believe me, when you are interviewed, you are
Hmm.
also interviewing the person. Is it a good
Yeah.
company for me? Do we have the same
Hmm.
values? Do I see myself working here? Do I see,
Hmm.
what is the culture, the office culture? So
Yeah.
you're important and your opinion matters. Even though sometimes
Hmm.
you're desperate for a job, I'll just say it. I've been there, I've done it. It's also
Hmm.
to have that ability, the awareness to say, I need to ask questions, how,
Correct. Hmm.
in fact, I'm going to show you some questions that you can uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
do as well while you're going through this process. But it is important that you feel good there is an alignment between the employer
Hmm.
and the employee, right? Because you
Hmm.
want to be
Hmm.
successful. And if you don't feel like this is a good place for you, guess what? There are other places, right? We all
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
beautiful jobs, and that's great. Good experience.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, we're talking about the formal interview,
Hmm.
honey, but there's also the informal interview. Have you
Hmm.
heard of it? It's very interesting because you're not asking for a job. You know what you want? Information. That's why it's called informational interview.
Okay. Hmm.
When you are like an investigator, you put your investigator hat and you're going to say, what is it that I need to know? Is it
Hmm.
this profession that I really want to follow? I'm not
Hmm.
sure. The informational interview is perfect for those opportunities to gather facts. You need facts,
Hmm.
you need information to make a wise decision. So, for
Hmm.
example, in my case here, before I started working at the University of the Pacific, McGeorge Law, I was actually looking for a school in the first place. In
Hmm.
that, I met several people that have either gone to the school as a student and had worked or had worked for the school.
Hmm.
So instead of asking, hey, do you know if they're hiring? I would say, hey, on LinkedIn, first send a request, a personalized
Hmm.
note, say, hey, I'm interested in applying for a position at McGeorge School of Law. I see that you work for the university. Would you have, can I take you for a cup of coffee? I just need 5 minutes.
Hmm.
I have few questions I would like to ask you. You better,
Hmm.
this is so welcome because people enjoy talking about themselves, enjoy talk about the
Hmm.
company if they really enjoy the work that they do, and they want you to
Hmm.
be successful. And again, you never
Hmm.
know what will come out of that conversation. But you're not
Yeah.
asking for a job to say, hey, I'm interested in working for the university. I'm still looking for positions,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
what is the culture? What are the
Hmm.
benefits? What are the working hours? What are the
Hmm.
opportunities? Are there trainings or the
Hmm.
traveling? Like you are asking for information to know more about the company, to know more about the profession, whatever profession
Hmm.
that might be, whatever career that might be. So the informational interview is to get information and not a job.
Yeah.
Go ahead, honey.
No, I don't have any questions. Like, I don't think that I've ever done this. I think it's an amazing idea, and I think that if I ever have to look for a job, but not right now, this is something that I would try out because speaking without the pressure of really being in the middle of the selection and just finding out whether this is the good fit for me or not is very important. But we usually like, I know that we said that this is not an interview for position, but when I'm looking for a job or just searching, there is a pretty good description. So I try to imagine it, and then throughout the interview, I just check whether the reality is similar. But just taking someone out for a coffee is a very good idea, just to find out the real deal without the pressure of getting or losing a job. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
if they don't have time, because you want to be respectful, usually I
Mhm.
would take them for a cup of coffee because it's not expensive, something that I could afford as a student, right? So I'm not taking them
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
lunch. I don't even know if that person has the time for it. And to be honest,
Mhm.
I want to be able to talk, so I don't want to eat. I mean, just
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
those logistics
Oh.
because they're important as well, right? So think about your
Mhm.
budget, think about the time, and being respectful to the other person's time. So you're gonna go
Mhm.
and you have your questions ready to go. You did your research, as Honey said, because the
Mhm.
people, time is money. People don't have time. They are professionals.
Mhm.
And I'll give you another hint. After you have the informational interview, please follow up with that person to say a thank you. And it's
Mhm.
gonna be here on the slide very soon. Write a thank you note. I know
Mhm.
nowadays it's texting, it's online. I get it. But a thank you note, written, handwritten, it makes the whole difference. Or
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
when after you get the job, hey, by the way, I have great news to share. Thank you, for your time.
Mhm.
That information
Mhm.
interview was so helpful to me, build the
Mhm.
confidence. I ended up accepting a position at this company. Thank you.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
it's excellent because you close the cycle in a very positive way. You may even make a new friend or a work
Mhm.
relationship or
Mhm.
maybe even
Mhm.
a mentor. You don't know,
Yeah.
right? If that person works for the same company and has been there
Mhm.
longer than you,
Mhm.
sometimes
Mhm.
people are open to become mentors. So that's great.
Mhm.
Everybody wins.
That's awesome. Yeah, I will say that this applies to other things in life, you guys who are watching, because I know that I have been prompting you to ask your teachers for recommendation letters. So
Hmm.
once they do it, please go back and say thank you to their support because they really gave you their time to, fill out the application part for your Common App and write the recommendation letters and doing all these little things for you to be able to apply to the United States. So those little things, as saying thank you or handing out a thank you card,
Yeah,
that really counts and it goes a long way. So don't forget all the people on your way currently to the United States and later on to your future jobs. Yeah.
beautiful. It has to be right. You're making an impression, and that impression lasts
Hmm.
forever, good or bad,
Yeah.
good or
Yeah.
bad. So
Hmm.
you're smart and you're going to make the right decision.
Hmm.
Okay. So we talked about the information interview, right? We're exploring
Hmm.
careers, we're getting information. You are an investigator, you want to know more about it because sometimes we have a knowledge in the theory, but in the
Hmm.
practice is a little bit different,
Yeah.
you know. So you want to make sure that they match, right? To the best of
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
ability. Uh, Again, it's are you a good fit for the company? Is the company a good fit for you?
Yeah.
Sometimes we also have some illusions, big corporations, whatever, but maybe the culture, the office culture is very important. Sometimes depending on the the employer, it's a more competitive nature. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's long hours, sometimes more family oriented. Again, understand where you are, understand your
Hmm.
priorities. Is there
Hmm. Hmm.
flexibility? Can you work from home? You have to come to the office. All those little things count at the end of the day because you're thinking about medium, long term, right?
Hmm.
You don't want
Hmm.
to be skipping jobs, of course, but you want to invest because you're going to give
Hmm.
your soul, right? You're going to do your
Yeah.
best. It has to be
Hmm.
worthwhile. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, and then hone interview skills. Again, when you're doing that, 5 minute, 10-minute conversation, you
Hmm.
are practicing,
Hmm.
you're practicing because you're going to have the chance to do your elevator, pitch for that person.
Hmm.
And then you're
Hmm.
going to have your questions ready. And at the end,
Hmm.
you're going to also thank that person, show,
Mm-hmm.
express gratitude for the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very nice. What else? Okay. How do you do that? How do you identify
Mm-hmm.
your contacts? How do you just go cold call and see who is out there? Sometimes, or most of the times, I should say, if you go to your friends or your professors' LinkedIn, they already have connections. So it's easy
Mm-hmm.
from a connection to another connection. Sometimes you can even um, ask a professor, hey, I see that you're friends with so and so on LinkedIn. Would you mind sending an introduction? Or can I
Mm-hmm.
use your name as a point of
Mm-hmm.
reference? That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, you already, you know, if someone emails me or LinkedIn, send me a message, hey, so and so, mention your name, I'm reaching out. I'm like, oh, there is a reference. It's just not
Okay.
a stranger,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's nice to have that
Mm-hmm.
of contact as well. Use our
Mm-hmm.
family, use, really all the connections. It's called networking for a reason. You're connecting
Mm-hmm.
the dots. So
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of an investigator work, but it pays off because there is a reference, there's a point of contact, and you can
Mm-hmm.
maximize. You should maximize. It's open. It's all there for you to use it
Mm-hmm.
smart, in a very smart, sophisticated way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Again, email request, you can also use this, as I just mentioned, you can either ask for a person to do a quick email introduction as well.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in same alignment as the LinkedIn. It's just a different channel to connect
Mm-hmm.
people, and then you take from there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do you prepare?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a good idea to send your resume depending on the area or the kind of business, because sometimes you don't have this experience or you don't have a resume, which is a good idea to have a resume ready to go. Okay, there are
Mm-hmm.
ways to have that document done in a way that is short, concise, but highlighting your awards, if you get any scholarship, if you did any
Mm-hmm.
publication, if you did any pro bono work, volunteer work,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to have that.
I'll jump in real quick. You
Please.
guys, if you're not sure about your resume, in the fall, we actually did a live stream with an ETA about how to really polish your resume and what are the differences, because it is way different if you send a resume in the Czech Republic and if you're doing a resume for an American company. You're okay. So there are differences. So check it out. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out.
Beautiful. It's important what Honey is saying because, for example, in South America, in some countries here in Europe, I know we have the CV, the curriculum vitae,
Mm-hmm.
which can be many pages, 5, 6 pages. Sometimes you put your photo, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
have to
Mm-hmm.
say in the United States, it's one single page, very short,
Okay.
very
Yeah.
summarized, no photos, no personal information, no date of birth.
Mm-hmm.
It's only
Mm-hmm.
your name, your full name,
Yeah.
not even your home address.
Mm-hmm.
You put your
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, you put your
Yeah.
LinkedIn profile link, right? The
Uh-huh.
URL,
Mm-hmm.
your phone number and email. That's it. Because
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they want to be unbiased. In other
Yeah.
words, they don't want to hire you because of your sex, religion, the color of your
Mm-hmm.
skin. It doesn't matter. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is something that it's a good topic too. We can even explore, honey, for the future. Really is those
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
documents because I sometimes I see application students, they put a lot of personal information. And
Information.
especially
Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays with all the data protection, we have to
Can
be a
do.
little more
Yeah.
more careful when you put your date of birth, your home address. So again, I think sometimes less is more in a sense
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
professional,
Mm-hmm.
easy to find you online.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here then, write a thank you note. No email
Mm-hmm.
is good, but writing and receive. I until today, if I get a little, thank you note, I think it's just so different. It's so old school. People, we don't do that anymore. But it does make my day if I get a little, thank you for
Yeah.
your help or whatever that might be. It's
It stands out. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it does
Mm-hmm.
stand out. It's the little things that make
Mm-hmm.
the difference. Oh, go ahead, honey. Oh,
Oh,
bless
so
you.
I was sneezing. I'm sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah.
I did write attorneys because I work for a school of law, but it could be
Mhm.
any area, any business, any
Uh-huh.
career. You can use all these tools for anything that you want to be or do in your life. Always
Mhm. Mhm.
for the alumni. Guys, I can't stress enough. Alumni are the successful former students that have gone
Uh-huh.
through the path. They know how challenging it is, and they
Mhm.
want you to be successful, and they want to help.
Mhm.
So, sorry about that. I'm trying to move here. So, always look for those people that have come before you.
Mhm.
They know the journey. They are more
Mhm.
than willing to support you. Okay.
Yeah.
It could be law firms, but it could be any organization or profit, depending on the area that you are focused
Mhm.
on. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Always professional organizations. So, for example, for the lawyers, we have the Bar Association or the Lawyers
Mhm.
Association or the Biochemical Association, whatever that might be, there's always a professional organization where they meet to learn more about updated regulations, about their continual education. There's always a professional um, organization related to the profession. So always
Mhm.
look for that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Universities, they always offer, I say this confidently because there's always like speakers and sometimes there are free events that is
Mhm.
open to the
Mhm.
public. So even if you say, but I'm not interested in law, that's okay. But you need to know about that data privacy. This is
Yeah.
for every area, right? So
Mhm.
take that opportunity to learn, to be informed about technology, about things that are you know, happening in your country, election,
Yeah.
um, law in general, like your duties as a citizen, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Or things that you want to do internationally, right?
Yeah.
So these are all good information. The more you know, the more will help you to apply in your career, in your profession.
Exactly. Generally speaking, being a well-rounded person is a benefit, honestly. So just dive into every little detail, try to be interested, keep yourself updated, and that's gonna help a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. So information is power if you
Mm-hmm.
know how to use it, if you know how to
Mm-hmm.
channel it to your
Mm-hmm.
benefit and the
Mm-hmm.
people around you to do
Mm-hmm.
good, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we need to keep in mind as well. And then here, networking opportunities why in the United States. Again,
Mm-hmm.
you start back home, good way to
Mm-hmm.
practice. You start while you are here and then when you come to the United States or wherever you decide to go study or work, you already have a network that you started back home. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to wait. So if you are thinking about coming to the United States, Canada, Australia, Brazil, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Your network
Mm-hmm.
starts now. You're
Mm-hmm.
connecting with those people now. Because when
Mm-hmm.
you already have the information, you already have that connection, you already have a friend or someone, a guide, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mentor waiting for you. And that will change your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Having that person, have someone helping you, it's essential for your success.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So start now. That's why, it's we are here talking about this. Again,
Mm-hmm.
how can you do that? Student organizations. I love this, you guys. These are free organizations made up by students that have the same interest. So they
Mm-hmm.
have the soccer student organization for those who like sports, right? You gotta get
Mm-hmm.
something that unite you guys, even if it's through physical, activities. So I say
Mm-hmm.
soccer because, of course, I'm from Brazil. What do you expect? I love soccer. What can I do? But it could be any sport, right? We
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
the international law or the protection or environmental law or whatever that might be. Always look for the
Mm-hmm.
organization. They're great, great way to network, make friends, and also know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Professors Honey just told professors are excellent because they open many, many doors, and you want to make sure that you establish that connection
Mm-hmm.
now and then afterwards. School
Mm-hmm.
events, some of them, I would say, open to the public, and why not attend? Because you can always
Mm-hmm.
watch and learn from other people. Guest
Mm-hmm.
speakers, if you attend a conference, make sure you go say hello if there's an opportunity, do your elevator pitch, thank the
Yeah.
speaker for that information that
Mm-hmm.
you learn, and use the informational interview. So these are ideas, these are
Mm-hmm.
tools that you can use now and while you are doing your process and even afterwards, because it never ends.
Mm-hmm.
It only gets bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here I put the LM for those who are interested in doing a Master's of Law in the United States. But
Mm-hmm.
again, this applies across the board. Think about your specializations, their specific area that you want to focus your studies on. Would
Mm-hmm.
you like to do a training? Um, Most of the courses, for example, the LLM programs, you are able to stay over in the United States for
Mm-hmm.
1 year to practice, to put into practice what you learn in theory. It's basically a training that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
Mm-hmm.
extend your stay for 1 year, depending on the visa, for you to practice. And that's great because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to look great on your resume. And most important, you have the practice. You said, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I have
Mm-hmm.
worked for this company or for this organization in the United States or in Australia, wherever you go, and you have that foundation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Job fairs, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bar, exams, international student programs, and any professional organization. I know I'm being repetitive, but these are tools that you can use anywhere at any time, at any point in your career.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you are well employed, but you're looking for opportunities to grow in your career, now you're looking for
Mm-hmm.
skills. How do people get skills? In fact, LinkedIn offers free um, courses, webinars, talking about
Mm-hmm.
public speaking, talking about career advancement, talking about resume. I know you have Education USA here,
Mm-hmm.
which is an excellent source. So
Mm-hmm.
you also have other opportunities online if you were to, not wanting to spend money, stay within a budget, but use the free resources available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So to summarize, when are you going to start doing it? It's today. It's right now with us. Honey and I, we gave you an example. Do
Yeah.
not waste an opportunity. Even if you have to
Mm-hmm.
practice with your neighbor, I don't care. You practice.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody comes to fix, I don't know, the toilet in your house, use that opportunity, use that person, that stranger to say something, to make that connection. Because
Mm-hmm.
always start before you leave home, before you leave your country, if you're going to go overseas, before you start a new job, a new career. Always be professional. I know you all are. We just forget sometimes some things to look at the best. Use
Mm-hmm.
tools that are offered, continue networking, and then you're going to be able to launch your career and be where you need to be. I have confidence in you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a journey. It's a beautiful journey that I am sure you're going to do excellent with practice, good practice,
Mm-hmm.
and good tools.
Great.
Honey, anything that you would like to add?
Awesome. Well, no, I actually like once we wrap it up, I'll log into my LinkedIn, I'll update some information, I'll research you, and I'll add you to my contacts, and I'll start the connection. You guys who are watching, thank you so much for being here with us today. I know that our relationship here is mostly because you're applying to American universities and colleges, but we are also networking. I am trying to build your confidence throughout the entire application. I want you to shine in your personal essays and so forth. So you are already working on it. Just push harder, step out of your comfort zone. And if you need someone to talk to in English, in Czech, feel free to reach out to either Education USA or to Adriana. We are here and happy to help you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, honey, for the opportunity. Thank you for welcoming me to your beautiful country. I'm excited to be here to get to know more about people, the culture, and
Uh-huh.
learning from you and learning with you. And I am available to support you, even though I work for the law school. I also work for a university. I'm under the umbrella of a university, which offers
Mhm.
many courses in different areas. So if I can
Mhm.
be of
Mhm.
assistance, if I can guide you to the right place, I am happy to support you in your journey, in your career. You can find me on LinkedIn, Adriana Arena,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going
Okay.
to be more than happy to become friends and we can
Uh-huh.
start our professional um, contact via LinkedIn. What a great opportunity to start your networking today.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Adriana. And please stay in touch or start being in touch with us. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.